Hello and welcome to another edition of Vinyl Night. I'm your quiz master and poster boy for Bruxism, Johnny C. Tonight's episode, Burning Answers to Burning Questions. Not too long ago I posted a video that was pertaining to a trivia quiz, esoterica, whatever you want to call it. It was an A through Z thing where you had to answer the vinyl question to the clue. Um, as my example, I used A, Twigs on the Wall, and that answer was the Allman Brothers, and the album is live at the Fillmore. Twigs on the Wall, of course, is Twigs on the Wall. Road Manager also went to go on with the Dixie Dregs. Interesting stories about Twigs on the Wall. So anyway, I need to get rolling here because we've got 24 more albums. Don't ask me how, don't ask me why, but I forgot the letter N in here. So when we get to N, or either that or I'll give it to you now, we're going to have a trivia esoterica just for the letter N. And the clue will be in perfect harmony, and it will be the N answer. So maybe I'll remind everybody at the end of this, how did I forget the letter N? I have no clue. So let's get rolling here. We got a lot of stuff to get through and just try and get through it without too much comment on it. B was The Crazy World, and that is The Crazy World of Arthur Brown. Oh, check that out, eh, kids? The Crazy World of Arthur Brown. B. B. That is our B answer. Thanks. C. The clue is ABCS-410. And as I mentioned at the beginning of the trivia video before, you can put all these things in the old World Wide Web and basically come up with the answer for them, which I was kind of surprised that I could just put in ABCS-410 and come up with the answer it's Ray Charles, Modern Sounds in Country and Western Music, Ray Charles. D, the clue is Doctor No Hook. Then I also believe I added record collector, and that would be the fabulous D, Dr. Demento. Demento's Mementos. So that is our answer for D. E, the clue was via satellite. Now, you can get technical on this one and go, well, E isn't quite the exact right person to give for this, but I figured, hey, it's like Cher or Bono or whatever. E, everybody would probably know that it's Elvis. Maybe, maybe not. If you put in via satellite, you'd come up with Elvis. So maybe it's supposed to be under the P's, but no, it's via satellite, and this, of course, is Elvis Aloha from Hawaii via satellite. Big deal at the time when that was done. F. This is the band before Inexpensive Ruse. So what you would need to have done there is look up Inexpensive, and you might find Cheap. And then if you looked up Ruse, you would find Trick. So you'd have to go, oh, what was the band before Cheap Trick that had Rick 21 and Tom 17 in? They had a band called Fuse back in the day. And this is basically, well, I shouldn't say it's early Cheap Trick. It's Rick Nielsen and Tom Peterson from Cheap Trick that were in this band, Fuse. Didn't get too far, but there's Rick and Tom from that in there. G, that bowling ball. And of course, like I said, if you look up that bowling ball, I'm pretty sure I just looked up that bowling ball, and I did find Jay Giles Band, Love Stinks. And of course, that bowling ball comes from No Anchovies, Please. That bowling ball, it's my wife. So the moral of the story is don't order anchovies on your pizza. H, Suck 'em Up. And that, of course, is the fabulous Don Ho. Suck 'em Up. I had the pleasure of seeing Don Ho live in person and have my Don Ho Tiny Bubbles album autographed. Don Ho, Suck 'em Up. Thanks. I. I'm pretty sure you can find this one also. Choice quality stuff was the clue. The answer, it's, well, I don't know why it says it's a big, bad, beautiful day. Simply because I'm pretty sure it's just supposed to be, it's a beautiful day. And it's choice quality stuff. I don't know if this name of the album is It's a Beautiful Day Anytime. But anyway, needless to say, remember the song, White Bird, won't you fly? Never mind. Okay, I. J, this is probably the one that was, probably wouldn't be able to find unless you had the record, even though in the video I did flash this album. And if somebody, I don't know if I went too quick, but on the very back of Wanda Jackson here is a gal with a fan that says, Everlasting Love Knots, securely tied by Parson Silvertongue, which was the clue. This is on the Pickwick label though, so maybe that's why that could have thrown somebody off, but that's my clue right there. Love Knots, securely tied. Wanda Jackson. E, F, G, H, I, J, K. Godber. And then I believe I did give the first name also to help out. Godber. Now I have to look myself. Barry Godber. And he was the illustrator for one iconic album cover, King Crimson, 21st Century Schizoid Man. Iconic cover for King Crimson, 21st Century Schizoid Man, 21st Century COVID Man. Godber. G. Yep. No, that was K. Dumbass. King Crimson. L. No admission to anyone wearing motorbike gear or any metal-studded clothing. This one I also did happen to find, but I found it, I believe, under images. And the image is from the album Little Feat Live, Waiting for Columbus. And on the inside, very prominently displayed, is a photo that they must have thought was kind of interesting to take a picture of, and that is exactly what it says is about the, and this is a great album. One fine live album right here, Little Feat Live. I've seen them only twice, but excuse me, well worth it. And that, of course, was no admission to anyone wearing motorbike gear or any metal-studded clothing. M is, the clue was Happy Just to Be Like I Am, which is a song, album title also. Taj Mahal, Happy Just to Be Like I Am. M, Taj Mahal, another fine album. O, you would have had to have looked up Amazing Records was the clue. If you looked up Amazing Records, I don't know how many artists were under the O section in Amazing Records, but this one is, and it's Omar and the Howlers. Omar and the Howlers, a big leg beat, nice blues from Omar and the Howlers. P is Rococo music. Once again, you'd have to look up Rococo music, but I would or did find an answer under P, and if there was more than one P, too bad. This is my answer. It is Planet P. Also another very nice album. I'm trying to remember who came from what for Planet P, and I can't remember what it was. I can't start with all that right now. We're getting along enough as it. Well, I guess we're only on P. Q is Cameo Records. Once again, you would had to have looked up Cameo Records and taken a look at their roster of artists, and you would have found Question Mark and the Mysterians. 96 Tears. Great use of that Farfisa or whatever keyboard they're using on there. Obviously, I'm not a Farfisa organ. Q, Cameo Records. Question Mark and the Mysterians. R, Routette. The Routettes are the backup singers for one Root Boy Slim and the Sex Change Band with the Routettes. It's actually not too bad of an album. Root Boy Slim. S, Fazone. Fa, 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 Fazone. I need to quit singing, eh? And that, of course, is the Sopwith Camel, the Miraculous Hump Returns from the Moon, with the song Fazone on it. This is a pretty nice album. It borders on prog rock. No, not really. Psychedelia, not really. A little bit. It's more like I should have listened to it first again. Now I'm getting into trouble. Should I edit this or not? No. Just leave it in there. Just goes to show that sometimes I'm trying to remember exactly how I would describe that Sopwith Camel album to a T, to be succinct about it, and I failed miserably. T, the St. Cleeve Chronicle, and that, of course, would be Tull, Jethro Tull, Thick as a Brick, and the famous St. Cleeve Chronicle, a master album that breaks out into a newspaper with all sorts of interesting items going on in here. I mean, you could throw the album on, get lost in where the album is, and you just take a look through here. I don't think I've read this all the way through, although I do remember doing the Children's Corner, follow the numbers and fill it in there, and those things they used to have, and it's Fluffy the Duck, and of course he's talking to a lass that's scantily clad. So this is, you got your horoscope in here, and of course you have all the lyrics to Thick as a Brick. How did I fold that up wrong? Right there like that? Is that how I folded it? No. Uh-oh. Fudge. I'll do it after. I don't know what happened here, but it's supposed to be Ian Bruce Douglas. So no wonder you couldn't get it. If you did Ian Bruce Thomas, you would not come up with the answer. It probably would have been, well, what the fuck, Johnny? What happened there? Why did you put Ian Bruce Thomas? I don't know if I was thinking of Bruce Thomas, the bass player from for Elvis Costello. He was in the Attractions. Um, I don't know how I transposed Ian Bruce Thomas, but it's supposed to be Ian Bruce Douglas. And that record would be Ultimate Spinach. It is, of course, the Ultimate Spinach. Another one of those gravy, cool 60s covers there. And Ian Bruce Douglas was vocals, electric, piano. I'm sure if you would have gotten the name correct, you would have found Ultimate Spinach with no trouble. Curious TUV, Tim and Carmine. One hell of a rhythm section. Tim and Carmine, it's Tim Bogert and Carmen Appice. Appice. I can't remember how exactly I heard which is the correct. But anyway, it would be the Vanilla Fudge. The beat goes on. Interesting versions with what's going on here, kind of a concept album. But that is, once again, oh Christ, get out of the glare. Really, you gotta trust me. The names are on there somewhere. Quit it. They're on here. Tim Bogert, Carmen Appice went on to do Beck Bogert and Appice, Cactus. Wonderful rhythm section. W, Eddie and the Falcons. And that W ends up being Roy Wood and Wizard. Roy Wood, of course, a well-known collaborator with Jesus Christ, Jeff Lynne. This is an interesting album. It's kind of a nod to 50s music, but with Roy Wood's spin on it. A couple of interesting tunes on here. Eddie and the Falcons, Roy Wood. X is all I have. I have 2 X records, Under the Big Box Sun, and I have a live X, and I can't remember where it was from, but X is all I have. X. Y, Lonely Streets That I Call Home, and that's guitars, Cadillacs, hillbilly music, and that's one Dwight Yoakam. Under the Y, Yoakam. And finally, last but not least, Z, Argent, A to Z. Z came first, and that ends up being the Zombies, which Rod Argent helped form back in the day. Rod Argent, of course, went on to have his own band called Argent. So there you have it. Argent. Z came first, though. He was in the Zombies before he was in Argent, so that's how that clue came about. The Zombies. So, also remember that you can take a look at vinylnight.weebly.com for the written version of somewhat of what goes on here. And once again, for some reason or another, I forgot the letter N, and that clue will be ooh, ooh, itch, itch, bit. I'm sorry. That clue will be in perfect harmony, and that goes along with the N clue. And I'll give the answer to that sometime in the future. So there you have it. The answers to the trivia or esoterica. Good night.